Alright, so today I'm here to talk about something that inspires or inspired or well, and I'm not here to talk about Silent Hill Homecoming's gameplay because it's broken. Um, and I know the game got a lot of hate for that, and it absolutely deserves it. But that apart, then the story about Alex Shepard is absolutely heartbreaking, and it speaks to me on a personal level, like none of the other Silent Hill games does. Um, so basically, very quick, the story is that there's this village called Shepherd's Glen, and in Shepherd's Glen, they uh, sacrificed their oldest child to some god or entity or whatever, in order to make sure that the village prospers and grows and everything is good. And Alex has a little brother. He's the oldest son, so he was supposed to be sacrificed to whatever god. Um, the parents knew this. The second he got a little brother, they knew that they were supposed to sacrifice Alex, and in that, um, what happened was that they sort of stopped loving him. They didn't allow themselves to love him because they knew they had to sacrifice him. So he spent an entire teenage years with parents, or childhood too, I guess. I don't remember actually. With parents who like didn't acknowledge him, didn't see him, didn't love him. Well, that was his sort of what he saw, what he felt was that they didn't want him there. Um, there's this super heartbreaking scene which is not in my game footage here because that's just the beginning of the game. But later in the game, there's this scene where you sort of go into the house where Alex lived, and there are pictures of the mom and the dad and the brother, but none of him. All the pictures of him are gone. Um, and because it's Silent Hill, it's hard to know what's real and what's not. And in this Silent Hill game, at least because I haven't played all of them, so I can't speak for all of them, uh, Alex is completely delusional, so sometimes it's hard to know if it's something that he thinks he sees or something he actually sees. But anyways, there are no pictures of him, and even though it doesn't matter if it's true that there are no pictures or it's something that he sort of sees in his mind's eye that there are no pictures, the feeling of being disjointed and not belonging and not being welcome in your own family is just, yeah, something that speaks directly to me at least. And I think his story is absolutely heartbreaking. Um, sorry. So that theme about sort of being a ghost in your own life, some fucked up sense of the theory of Schrödinger's cat, where you're alive but you're not. So you're there, but you're not. You're alive, but you don't live, type thing in a very philosophical way. Um, take a character like Hunter from Kryos, for instance. He he has some of this in him. Well, I wrote him, so I would know. But um, he longs to be who he think he used to be. He has this idea of what he used to be. He longs to be that person again. But truth is, he was probably never that person, and he wouldn't know how to be that person again. Um, Sort of the same thing. I'm talking about Alex's delusions, not the family part. See, Alex here in Silent Hill Homecoming believes he's a soldier. He's wearing a uniform. He thinks he is in a hospital, this hospital to be precise. He thinks he was in a hospital because he was wounded in war. In the beginning of the game, he keeps asking about where his squad is, and I have to get back to my squad, blah blah blah. And when he gets back to his mom, he keeps talking about when he was in a hospital because he was injured. But the truth is that Alex was never a soldier. The uniform is his father's, the dog tags are his father's. Um, he sort of took on a bit of his father's persona in order to be a different Alex Shepard, a guy who acts, a guy who fights for what he believes in, a hero, when in fact he's actually in a nut house. Well, that's the hospital. He's been in a mental hospital, not because he was injured in war. So that leads me back to the character of Hunter, for instance. Or the Hunter, I guess. Isaac. Isaac, he was probably never the person that he believes he was. Well, I know that. I'm not sure the reader knows that, but I believe that he took on a lot of characteristics from other people he used to know to create this fantasy about how great it was, how happy he was. But I'm not sure that he actually was this happy. Maybe it's just a delusion. Maybe it's just something he's telling himself to have something to work towards. I want to be this better person. I want to be different. I don't want to be what they made me to be. And yeah, I know it's far-fetched, but still, he reminds me in a lot of his, well, a lot of the character building. He reminds me of Alex Shepard. Apart from that, I was one of the lucky few who got to see Jacob's Ladder before I ever played Silent Hill. And it was pretty funny that when I played Silent Hill 2, which was the first Silent Hill game I played, the only thing I thought of was, dude, that is Jacob's Ladder. Oh my god. And I read later that it actually was super inspired by Jacob's Ladder, which was just so amusing because I know no people who knows that movie. I mean, I think it's a masterpiece, one of my absolute favorite movies, and nobody knows it. Nobody watched it because it's this lame ass early 80s movie, I guess. Right, so Jacob's Ladder. I can only recommend it. It's awesome, even like 20 years later. It's still awesome. Watch it. So it's a good thing I had to edit this video because I realized, point one, I repeated myself. Point two, there was something I actually forgot to say. The whole thing with the sacrificing your kid. Alex's parents did not sacrifice Alex, as you can see. And when he talks to his mother, it's sort of like they're trying to make him understand we could not do this to you. So, ergo, we're the victims here. We were forced not to love our own child. That sat really weird with me because all he wants is some love from his parents. All he wants is to be loved. And he's trying so hard, even as an adult, even in this state, he's trying so hard for them to love him, and he really wants to forgive them. But they sort of play the victim card for the person, towards the person that they victimized. So it's pretty complicated. I'm going to leave a link below. I don't remember if I actually already said it in the video, to a gameplay footage cutscene video. so you can get to watch it as a movie, get the plot, not the whole running around in circles, bad gameplay type thing. The graphics are outdated, but fuck them, because, well, it's a really good story. Also, I am going to leave a link below for a video about this guy who talks very in-depth about Jacob's ladder, and all the symbolism. I am not going to go into the symbolism in this game because there's a lot of it. So this game, more than anything, is just really sad. I don't find it scary. It's not. I know it's a horror survival game, but the story is so important to me when I play these type of games. That it's impossible for me to ignore the reason why Alex is dropping through Silent Hill. I do realize I did not go into the whole brother thing, but in short, I believe he's trying to redeem himself because he did wrong and he knows it, and he wants to right his wrongs. He wants to show the world that he didn't mean it. It was an accident. And I suspect he wants answers or something as well. I don't know. Watch the gameplay footage movie and see for yourself. And with that, I'm going to end this video, and I'm gonna say thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time. Okay.